You're a professor emeritus of political science at Bar-Ilan University, joining us from West Jerusalem this hour. Thanks for your time. So the Oslo framework also envisioned a two-state solution with land swaps and negotiations over final borders, including Jerusalem. But with the Israeli settlement expansion in the occupied West Bank continuing for decades, has the two-state solution already been overtaken by the facts on the ground, do you think?
I do think that the two-state solution, Oslo-style two-state solution, is dead. No way to revive it. So all the countries, entities, organizations speaking about two-state solution must reconsider their vision and say what kind of two-state solution do they mean that is relevant to the changing realities on the ground, with the expansion of the settlements, Israeli settlements, and the lessons learned from the failure of Oslo agreement. So we should not repeat the failure. But no one in the West, no one of those speaking on the two-state solution comes up with a concrete plan, with a concrete idea what it means by two-state solution. Up to now, the EU representatives that I and my friends meet, they off the record admit that the two-state solution is not realistic anymore, but they must keep saying it. Now the time comes that the West European countries build up a conference and invite professionals in order to reconsider the two-state solution and take into consideration the changes on the ground and the lessons learned from Oslo failure.
So hang on a second. Look, several countries have pledged to recognize a Palestinian state, but some have varied conditions. For example, Emmanuel Macron says France will do so in September and remove the prerequisite of the demilitarization of Hamas. And there's a UK leader, Keir Starmer, will recognize a state, but has offered Israel an out if it agrees to a ceasefire, allows the UN to distribute aid and not annex the occupied West Bank. Then there's Canada, which has also signaled its intention to recognize Palestine, but says Hamas can have no role in the next election. Prime Minister Mark Carney reiterated all remaining Israeli captives must be released too. So Menachem Klein, back to you. What is behind these conditions, for example, calling for Hamas to disarm? As one official put it, statehood is a right for Palestinians, and it's not a bargaining chip.
The lack of coordination is evident. We see it. You put it exactly here just a minute ago. And the cracks between those countries serve Israel. Israel can play in the differences between them. If Israel plays sophisticatedly, Israel can win over them. Now, why there is a debate? Because some countries think that they have to appease the Israelis. Others are may be unaware of the Arab League plan that Egypt pushed forward a few months ago, that includes Hamas, that Hamas agreed to give up its weapons under certain conditions. And Hamas and Fatah agreed on a scenario that Hamas will move to the back seat and not rule the Gaza Strip the day after the war. Also, they agreed about Hamas participating in the elections for the PLO institutions, but not the Palestinian Authority government. So there is a scenario to go ahead, how to go ahead, what to do the day after. There is a scenario that can isolate Israel, and the key question is whether not only whether the countries, the Western countries, can coordinate their plan, but also how far they are ready to put pressure on Israel.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, so let me ask you this: what's a practical impact of these recognitions, or is it, as you're saying, to pressure Israel diplomatically, or are they trying to send a message to the Palestinians as well as the international community?
It's a moral backup to the Palestinian struggle, or the Palestinians. So there's also the civilians that suffer the Israeli genocide and war crimes and starvation in Gaza Strip. Definitely, it is very positive, this moral backup. But practically on the ground, what does it mean? How this recognition brings the Palestinians closer to a de facto state or towards the solution, the two-state solution? It's unclear, because without acts on the ground, it is just what they call in Arabic kalam fadi, empty words. Now, what kind of act can be done? For instance, sending supply and food with Western soldiers to land in Gaza from the sea and impose this on Israel if Israel refuses to open all gates to Gaza and have free supply of food and drugs and everything that the civilians need. This is one example, because then the countries say it is occupied territory and we recognize it, that it is Palestine, it's not yours. Now, the recognition should have a supplement on which borders they recognize Palestine. This is very important. In my view, they should recognize Palestine on 67 borders, including East Jerusalem, that Israel illegally annexed. Mm-hmm. So this also makes a difference on the ground.
And of course, there's always the U.S., right, which plays a pivotal role in all of this. I mean, U.S. President Trump threatened Canada as well as other countries, saying it will be difficult to continue trading if they, in fact, do go ahead and move to recognize the state of Palestine. But that really contradicts Washington's own legacy. The U.S. hosted the Oslo Accords, the signing at least, and it positioned itself as a committed broker of a two-state solution. So what's changed?
This is another evidence of that Oslo is dead. Definitely. The United States, the Trump administration is against a peace treaty or the establishment of a Palestinian state. We saw that in Trump's 2000 peace plan. It was not an independent state. It was a limited autonomy that he suggested then in coordination with Netanyahu administration. So the West European countries that recognize Palestine should be ready to confront the United States and act against the United States if they want to change anything on the ground. Send something beyond sympathy and moral support for the suffering of the Palestinian people.
Okay, we'll leave it there. Menachem Klein, you're a professor emeritus of political science at Bar-Ilan University, speaking to us from West Jerusalem. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.